Good afternoon, ladies, moms. That pretty much covers it because I don't really talk to dudes on here, nor do a lot of my female-oriented, mother-oriented content speak to them. So I'm just going to say ladies and mothers. Wanted to hop on here really quick while I was just getting some stuff settled after going to the gym, running some errands. So I want to talk to, that's not where my stand is. I need to get my stand because my arm is going to get tired. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about how to make money online doing what you already know how to do, with the skills and experience you already have, with the knowledge that you already have, all of that, right? This is not necessarily associated with network marketing, so I'm not going to talk about that because could you? Sure. With Lavelle, you get your first paycheck on Tuesday, but that's not what I'm going to talk about because that wouldn't be this week. So let's just use the fictitious example of making $100 by Friday, right? Let's just talk about that because is it possible? Absolutely. Is it possible to make way more than $100 by Friday? But we're not going to go there. And I don't want it to feel clickbaity and I don't want it to feel crazy. So let's just talk about this, okay? So I want to, sorry, I'm putting it on a stand because I know that my arm's going to get really tired. So this isn't anything formal. This isn't a training. This isn't a whatever, but I've had a couple people ask me. I've had a few people reach out and message me just today. And I think there's a lot of misconception around how to do this, how accessible it is, and how simple it is to do it. I always hesitate to use the word easy because I feel like that's misleading, but it's also not accurate because what's easy for me may not be easy for you. The process may be easy, but maybe the implementation is, I don't know, but like it's incredibly simple. So let's talk about it. How to make money online with what you already know. So the first stage would be to assess what it is that you already know. Do you have a specific skill? Do you have a trade? Do you have experience? Do you have a passion? And the first thing that people automatically do that they feel disqualifies them, especially people who are considering entering my Digitalpreneur Academy, is a lot of people disqualify themselves because they don't think that what they know is already important enough or cool enough or special enough or worthy of somebody paying them. So number one is, what skill, experience, knowledge, or trade do you have? And everybody has something like that, right? So it could be, what have you learned in your current occupation? What did you go to school for? What do you love to do? What's a skill or hobby that you have? What's something that's unique that you know? Because at some point you wanted to learn it and you were either able to be taught it or have access to it and learn it. So chances are other people do too. And like I said, number one is automatically when people are entering the Digitalpreneur Academy is they want to discredit what they already know. They want to say, oh, what I know isn't really that special. I know how to paint, I guess, but like who wants to learn how to do that? Or yeah, I know how to make stationery and cards, or I know how to bake bread, or I know how to do X, Y, and Z, but nobody really wants to, do that. And here's the thing, I'm not talking about coaching. I'm not even, because yes, that's an option, but we're not even going to talk about coaching right now. We're not going to talk about anything like that. We are simply going to talk about how to create a passive source of income online, how you create something once and sell it. It's called evergreen. So number one is, what are you passionate, skilled in? What's your trade? What's whatever. Second of all is to create and fit into a niche. Now, I don't teach my students to niche down by like, oh, I do this specific thing for these specific people and this is the specific result they will get. No, because a lot of people, especially if they're ADHD, they're multi-passionate, they have a lot of experience, they're very inspired to do things. Sorry, my hair is bothering me. They feel really pigeonholed by that. And so I don't teach that. I just teach people the only thing you want to niche down into is who you serve. You want to really, really speak very specifically to the person that you are trying to serve. So I primarily help mothers. Now, a lot of the content that I put out there, can it also help guys? Yeah. Can it help women who don't have children? Absolutely. Can it help a multitude of people who aren't mothers? Yes. But I specifically want to make sure that when mothers are hearing my content, they know, this is for me. This is something that can help me. This is something that speaks to me. And so that's who I primarily serve. I primarily serve mothers who want to learn how to build an income online whilst still living a very present and intentional life with their family. So that even gets more specific, right? Because there are mothers who don't want to do that, and that's perfectly fine. I want to let them know that when they enroll in my course, that's not what they will get. They will not get this crazy nose to the grindstone boss babe culture, put your family on the back burner, build your career now so you can create a life for them that you can all enjoy later. They will not get that with my content, and I make that very loud and clear. So another thing is niching into, fitting those niches into where those people live online. So Pinterest, YouTube, social media, blogs, podcasts, all these things, right? What do they consume? Where do they consume it? And inside the Digitalpreneur Academy, and I think even inside my free masterclass, which I'll put a link somewhere in here when this is done, I talk about the niche matrix, which is, which ones are more traffic leading, evergreen resources, and which ones are more profit driving or profit creating. And so you want some that create traffic and you want some that generate profit. So for example, let's say you have a green thumb, right? You may speak to plant moms. Maybe you want to speak to, I'm sorry, hold on just a second. That's my lawn guy. Things like that happen at the worst time. Oh my gosh, 7 of you guys hopped on. I'm sorry, my lawn guy came in at the worst time. So what I was saying is the niche matrix, that's a tongue twister, is you want to make sure that you are creating traffic driving resources for your new opportunity and profit ones. And so you want to make sure, okay, who am I speaking to? How am I using my craft, my trade, my experience, my knowledge, my passion to help them to solve a problem? So that's another thing too, is not only do you want to know who you serve, but you want to know them so well, Kayla, yeah, real life. You want to know them so well that you know exactly what their problems are, right? So I am a mother who's running a business, who wants to generate income for her family to create more financial flexibility, but I also don't want to compromise the life I'm trying to live with my children and my family now to build something later. I want to live a more present and conscientious life with them. I want to be more intentional. So I know exactly the problems that my specific audience are enduring or having to overcome. And so, I know exactly how to speak to them, and I know what problems they have and maybe what solutions they're looking for. So that's another thing. And I'm going to use a couple examples, right? So before, which is hilarious that I said green thumb because of my lawn guy. But let's say you have a green thumb. You know how to make plants grow, right? That is not me, and I am on this very arduous journey of owning plants and building or growing a garden. So you have a green thumb. You have a multitude of people you can speak to. Experienced gardeners, homesteaders, people who are new to gardening, plant moms, right, who are growing indoor plants, exotic plant owners, all of these things. So you can see that just you being really good at growing things is not enough. You kind of have to know who exactly are you speaking to, because if you're speaking to the homesteader, that is a very different audience than a plant mom, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Than someone who maybe lives in a more urban setting and is not on a bunch of land where they can grow this very lush garden. So you have to know exactly who your audience is. And then you have to know what specific problems you're solving. So all of you guys already have specific skills. You have knowledge, you have experience, you have passions. What are those, right? Ask yourself this. What are those? And then I want you to think, okay, who would I be speaking to? Who do I want to serve the most? Who do I think needs this the most? And how do I think they need it? Like, what's their biggest problem and how am I going to meet that? And the best thing, I'm always the biggest fan of doing so in a very passive way. Now, could you offer consulting and coaching to people who are growing their businesses and charge somebody $45 for a Zoom session? Absolutely. That's totally up to you, and I teach both ways inside the Digitalpreneur Academy. I teach both active presence in building a business and passive. The emphasis definitely is more on passive because it's for mothers who want to create more time for their families. So the best way to do that is passive evergreen content. So you also have to make sure that, and again, inside the niche matrix is, how am I going to speak to them? Where am I going to find them? And then what am I going to say, right? How am I going to speak to their problem and offer the solution, my offer, right? So you could easily make $100 by Friday, thinking to yourself, if you left this call and you were like, I see Brenda on here, right? Brenda is really good with UX design. So for user experience design and interface with websites, branding, things like that. Let's just use her as an example. She could get off of this live, figure out a way to package that up. So she's thinking, okay, I want to speak to network marketers who want to create their own branded website to be able to tell their story and be able to talk about their journey online in a way that helps to not necessarily recruit people, but create more brand awareness without utilizing their company website. And I want to teach network marketers how to do that, how to brand themselves online professionally, right? That's a very specific audience. And she can grow within that niche. She's not, pigeonholing herself into a niche of what she's offering, but more so a very specific niche of a person, right? Which is the network marketer looking to expand and grow and modernize their marketing practices. So she may say, okay, what I want to do is I want to create like an ebook or a workbook or something like that network marketers can purchase for, say, $27, and it walks them through the very beginning stages of, branding themselves, creating a website, how to structure a website, because most people don't know that there actually is like a formula to creating a really successful website that leads people through a journey and asks them to click and causes them to buy and all of that. It's a whole buyer psychology. And she walks people through that so that when network marketers buy this ebook, they have an exact step-by-step process that walks them through exactly how to do all of these things, and they leave with a transformation. So you don't just want to offer information because people can go Google it, they can YouTube it, they can TikTok it, whatever. You want to be able to give them the information all in one space. That's number one, because that's a convenience thing. And number two is, what transformation are you offering them? Are you going to be able to teach them knitting in 48 hours, whatever? People are going to be like, whoa, yeah. Instead of just learn how to knit, it could be like, knit your first scarf in less than 48 hours or something that people would be like, ooh, yes, that tells me I'm going to learn something. I'm going to learn it fast. I'm going to be able to replicate it, duplicate, whatever. So if Brenda were to do that, if she were to leave here, spend the next 24 hours game planning, right? And finally decided, okay, I'm going to do this ebook, bought a private label right ebook for like $4, rebranded it her colors, added a few of her own touches, or she could create a whole brand new one from scratch using Canva and their templates. Still wouldn't take more than, say, 2 or 3 hours. If you use the PLR one, might be like 30 minutes, but let's say she wants to create one from scratch on Canva. And tomorrow it's done. Now all she has to do is start marketing it, start talking about it. Where's she gonna go? Well, she's gonna go where network marketers go. She's gonna start talking to them. She's gonna start highlighting the problems that they might be having. She's gonna start posting content online. Maybe she releases a podcast. Maybe she publishes a YouTube video. Maybe she makes content in her stories or on her Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And it's speaking to those people and she's talking about the problem. Like, how many customers do you lose when you give out your company link? What if you had a link that was totally yours, piqued curiosity, told your story, and promoted you and your product, opportunity, and team on Evergreen? A lot of network marketers would go, yes, please. But then when she tells them, oh, it's all about building your own website, a lot of them would turn off because they're like, I don't know how to do that. But if she were to say, but I have the solution for you, you're going to buy this ebook and it's going to walk you through step by step how to brand yourself as an individual, how to put everything you know online into onto a website, blah, 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 step by step formula. And maybe she has some social proof on there, like she has some friends that she's helped before and they give like a testimony, or she shows them what hers looked like and like her conversion rates. People are gonna buy it. Let's say if she has a $27 ebook and 10 people buy it, that's not a lot actually. I mean, it's a lot in that you should give yourself a pat on the back if you sell that many because that's awesome. But it's not as hard to get 10 as you may think. You may think, oh my God, 10 people. But I mean, if you have a Facebook audience of 3,000 and an Instagram audience of 600, out of all of those people, if only 10 people convert, like your odds are good. That's $270 by Friday that she could be having, right? And yeah, depending on how hard you go in the marketing, if you go live, if you do a podcast, or if you post a lot on your social media or in your stories and you're really, really good at articulating the problem that your ideal audience is having, then you could probably sell more, right? And let's just say that she's able to create a funnel or a website, which you can get inside the Digitalpreneur Academy. And she's able to just put up that little website, say like, here's the thing, here's the problem, here's who I'm talking to, here's the solution, download this, pay here. Boom. She leaves it in the link in her bio. So now when she creates content, she just tells people to go to the link in her bio, and she starts creating passive income or people buying every single day, $27 here, 2 or 3 over there. Like, that's how simple it is. And then she can create 10 more ebooks, or she can create a course, right? She can create like a little mini course and sell it for $297. She could do a coaching program and sell it for 4 weeks for $2,000. Like, I just don't think that I think a lot of people, too many people are sleeping on this because they think maybe it'll cost too much. 2, they doubt their ability or what they have to offer. 3, they think it's too tech heavy when really the world we live in right now is making it so much more user-friendly than ever before. Like, it's so much easier to create a business online than ever before in history. And if you are a person who has a phone or a computer and you are somehow not making money online, I don't understand why. And I would love for you to tell me why. If you're that person who's not making money online right now, I want you to tell me why in the comments. Like, just be like, I just don't have the time. I'm super busy. I just doubt myself. Maybe I think it's too hard. Blah, 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 right? Because I can definitely tell you that some of the people I have worked with, basically I make fun of one of them, you know her, Tracy Schaefer. I might call her Moses because I feel like she does everything that's like writes on stone tablets. And we've been able to help her not only launch a website, but a course and a coaching program. She sold one of her coaching packages for $1,200. She sells her Reclaim Your Time. So in fact, she made a sale today from it. You know, she's incredible with time management, and she didn't think it was that special because she's a mom of 10 who thought, well, I just need to be able to do that to live my life. And I thought, yeah, but Tracy, how many people, how many mothers, how many entrepreneurs out there that don't know how to time manage and could benefit from the strategies that you use? And she's like, okay. So she put them, we helped her articulate them, we put them in a course, and now she sells the course on autopilot. You know, she might talk about it from time to time on her social medias, but she's able to make $27 a pop as people do it. And so 15 minutes, sorry. My son has a timer on his tablet. So that's really how easy it is. And again, you can make more sales the more traffic driving sources you have. And we teach you that in the Digitalpreneur Academy. I'm going to keep saying that. We teach you in the Digitalpreneur Academy. So what's a traffic driving source? A traffic driving source is one where the whole premise of it is not to create an income, right? So like a course, that's to generate income. An ebook is to generate income. Masterclasses, webinars, workshops, courses, all those things are to generate income. Then you have other ones that can generate income, but their primary purpose is to create awareness and to drive traffic. Blogs, podcasts, Pinterest, social media, things like that. We don't really teach you a whole lot about social media. We do have a course around that called the Social Media Makeover, and in our branding course, but I'm not a huge fan of only utilizing social media because your content dies after 24 to 48 hours. You're at the mercy of the algorithm. It's not searchable. There's no SEO. It's not very passive. You have to be incredibly present on the platform in order to generate the traffic that you could do somewhere else more passively. I'm a big fan of email marketing, Pinterest, blogging, all those things, podcasts, because we teach you how to set that up from scratch, even your equipment, how to do all of those things. So you want to have a traffic driving source like a blog, email, podcast, Pinterest, something like that. You want to have somewhere where they can land, whether it is a landing page, sales page, web page, whatever. Again, we teach you how to build those inside Digitalpreneur Academy, but it is so super simple. And you don't have to start there. You don't have to start with like, oh, I need a traffic driving source, so I need to start a podcast, and I need to create a sales page, and I need to create an offer, and I need it. No. That's not how it works. You could literally say, what do I know? Who am I going to serve? What's their biggest problem? Aha, I'm going to create a 3-hour masterclass that I do either passively or live, or, oh, I'm going to create an ebook on that, or, oh, I'm going to create a little mini course on that. Sell it for whatever price point you want, $17, $20, $100, $400, thousands of dollars, doesn't matter. And you can start generating, as long as you start creating it and you have it done within 24 to 48 hours, which is incredibly doable, and you promote it over the next couple days, you could have at least $100, if not more, depending on what you create and where you price it. You could have at least $100 in your bank by Friday. That will fill up your gas tank, maybe for some of you, help you get groceries, pay for daycare, go to the movies. And it's just so simple, and literally anybody can do it. And if you feel really intimidated, that is why I created the Digitalpreneur Academy. And it also has so many lessons in there about how to blend womanhood and your business, how not to put your life on hold now to build the business you want later, how to be present for both, how to find joy in both, how to do both with absolute fulfillment, instead of always feeling like you're having to choose. You know, we talk about so many of those things. It literally is all of the things that I have learned with creating a successful online business and packaged it up into this course so that other women and mothers like myself could be able to enjoy their life with their children, their spouses, their loved ones, or just themselves, as well as building a business that doesn't burn them out, that creates passive evergreen income. So you're creating something once, you're pressing play online, and you're continuing to get sales over and over and over again. The only thing you have to do is make sure you have a traffic driving source. And we teach you that in the Digitalpreneur Academy, like I was just talking about, social media, blogs, podcasts, email marketing, Pinterest, something like that. So I have seen almost a heartbreaking number of posts that are like, how do I make $100 by tomorrow? How do I create another income without leaving my home? What are some work from home jobs? What are some whatever? And you know, not everyone is open to network marketing, and that is fine, because now there are so many other options to make money online aside from network marketing. And that's just kind of been my mission lately, is to help teach other mothers and women what those are and just how simple it is. Because I know so many of you who are watching, who will watch this later, who aren't watching, are doubting yourselves, and you're thinking that it's too difficult, too strenuous, taking too much time, going to cost you so much money. You know, some of you may be thinking, oh, Courtney has a course. Oh my gosh, it's probably cost so much money, you know, because I've been there, I've done that, and I've invested in courses that were thousands of dollars. And when I look back, were they worth it? Some weren't. Mine is not thousands of dollars, by the way, but, you know, and I think it really is. I wanted to create almost like a complete resource and playbook for women to be able to have access to whenever they need to go back and be like, okay, I've already created my ebook. How do I scale it and make more money? Okay, how do I create a traffic driving source? Okay, I think I want to do a podcast. How do I start one of those? And you open up the podcast module, and it walks you through it. Laura Stoner did a podcast. She launched it in less than 48 hours, and it already has like over 100 plays. And she's serving so many cancer moms. It's just incredible. It's such a blessing. And I have another mom who is teaching a course on how to withdraw your children from public school and homeschool them, or if you're currently homeschooling, how to feel more joy and success in doing that for both you and your child. I have another one who is launching a marital course on how to engage in communication around the 3 key issues that most people experience in marriage. Another woman is launching her organization consultancy. So there's just so many things that you can do. It's really all about, what are you really good at? What are you super passionate about? What have you helped people with in the past? And don't devalue what you know. Do not devalue what you are passionate about. Instead, dive really deep into that and go, how can I monetize that? How can I package that up? Because I want you to think, who does that serve? Chances are your specific talent, gift, experience, it serves somebody. It serves you, so why wouldn't it serve other people? And the point is to figure out who those people are exactly and what their primary problem right now is, and then you spend the majority of your time figuring out what that solution could be. And at first, if you just want to make some extra money by Friday, then you make it super simple, super quick wins, right? So if you're a gardener, you want to create an ebook all about, how to start a raised bed garden from scratch in less than 3 days. Sell that ebook for, whatever you want to price it at, $17, $20, $27, $47, depends on how big it is. And sell it to people who are looking to start a garden, because starting a garden is already, if you're not a person with a green thumb or you've never done it before, is really daunting. So can you imagine if somebody literally handed you a playbook and they were like, here it is step by step, exactly what to do, exactly what seeds thrive in which zone, how to create a raised bed garden, what soil to use, literally some checklists. You'd be like, oh my gosh, this is a godsend, because you are limiting so much of their heartache and you're making the process so much more simple and much more enjoyable for them. And it's stuff you already knew. Right? You didn't have to go learn something. You didn't have to get a certification. You didn't have to go get a license or a degree or whatever. You already know it. You know who you're talking to. You know what their biggest problem is. You make something, you deliver it to them. And you don't even need a sales page right now. If all you have is the document and people just PayPal you or Venmo you or Facebook pay you and you just email it to them, go for it. Is that as passive as you ultimately want to make it in the future? No, but it's a great way to make an extra 100, 200, 300, 500 by Friday, isn't it? So I highly encourage people to try this out, to try their hand in it, if you're not even sure what you would do it on, go take my free masterclass. The link is in my bio. When I publish this, I'm going to put it up there somewhere. And then if you're like, I'm ready to do this, I'm sick of living paycheck to paycheck, I'm sick of not having any flexible income, I'm sick of not having more control over the streams of revenue that we have coming in as a family, I want to be able to control one of them, then consider enrolling in the Digitalpreneur Academy, where you have endless opportunities to learn how to create all of these things, not only the traffic driving sources, but also your profit and revenue creating resources as well, because I think there's just so many women out there who are underutilizing or not utilizing this. And it can also complement, if you are in direct sales, social selling, network marketing, whatever, it can perfectly complement that. It doesn't have to be in competition with it. It's not taking the place of it. It is the perfect blend of your products, your company opportunity, and your personal brand and what you can offer. And sometimes the network marketers I've seen implement a lot of these strategies like skyrocket in growth, because they are truly serving their audience in a multitude of ways. And the more you serve, the more impact you have and the more income you can potentially create. So I hope you guys found that helpful. I wanted just to really kind of break down the barrier a little bit, I guess, around creating income online, that it doesn't always have to be with direct sales or network marketing, that it doesn't always have to look like what you think, and that it's not as intimidating as you're telling yourself it is. And sometimes it's all about just getting out of your own way and doing the darn thing. So I hope you guys found that helpful. I will let you get back to your Monday, and I will catch you later.